Hello, hello. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty Balbun, and lovely little daughter. Here she is.
Hi,
What's with that? Just sneak attack, little daughter.
I'm here to kiss baby.
It's a noble and awesome pursuit. See if I can get this. Today I thought we could have a little bit of a painting party. So if you have any watercolor that you would like to spread out on your workbench, because that's what we're going to do. Today we're going to have both cameras in action. What I'm doing now is I'm taping off a page in my watercolor book. I'm using painter's tape, and
Can you switch the camera? Show them what you're doing.
yeah, I was like, just give it a minute. That's kind of low.
Low on the page.
Low.
I thought you were gonna give it a real, like a thick frame,
It's gonna have a thick
like
frame.
those Renaissance paintings where they have the gigantic frames, and then the painting is actually only like
It's like this.
5 inches tall. Yeah.
That's
Hi,
that's
Cecilia.
where I live, is in that kind of land.
Of itty bitty on the big
Itty bitty paintings with a giant frame. Hopefully I got that square. You never know with mine. They're always, the edges are always kind of cockeyed.
Yeah.
So I've got painter's tape.
Hopefully that looks like it's real sticky.
Hopefully it doesn't tear up the paper, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. I do love it when I can remove
And then it's got that nice crisp edge.
the crisp
Show
edge is
everybody
where
what
it's
you've
at.
done.
So I just did this. Look how
This
thick
is,
this paper. Look at this.
When
It's
you
like-
watercolor in a sketchbook, it's probably good because it protects the center part, right? Because then your pages don't fall out when they don't get soaked.
I don't soak my paper real.
Well, sometimes when I watercolor, it gets wet near the middle, and then the pages can
That
fall
happens,
out.
but you know what I'll do? If that happens, I will set it up so that the paper itself can dry. And I didn't see, because there's a little bit of a flaw. I don't know if you can see that. There it is right there. And sometimes those are kind of like speed bumps. They're kind of hard to paint on. So I just did that for now. Sometimes I don't do this. This is an extra step. This is more professional. You know what I usually do? If my watercolor teacher from CCAD saw this, they would probably make me do it over. We'd be like, Thornton, we talked about this. And
Hello,
that
everybody.
is to go full bleed all the way to the edge. Printers hate it when I do this. You know why? Because this is really hard. Printers, if you take it to get it made, they're not impressed at all. Because people love that border that you can tape off, you can frame it. I went full bleed. I went edge to edge. But you know what? In my mind, I'm not going to sell this. This is the original. So this is never going to get sold. That's never going to be a concern for me. You know what I am going to do with it is I'm going to take a picture of my phone, and I'm going to put this baby in Procreate Pocket and noodle on it with my digitally. I see we have Melanie. Hello.
Nilda.
Morphing Designs is here early. Welcome back, Azealia.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We got
Azealia
Pat and Cecilia.
Was in Florida. No,
I was
you
in
were
Ohio visiting my cousin.
Visiting your cousin. Your cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Nilda says, hi, Cynthia and Azealia and Marty. Can't wait to see what you have for today. Well, I'll tell you what I have for today. Today, we're going to have a painting party. I kind of wanted to get ready for the next. I'm prepping this stone lucky dip that I've been working on, and I found some killer stones that just blew my doors off. When you see a stone, you're just like, you kind of like, I don't know if this happens to y'all, but occasionally I'll find a stone where it stops me in my tracks, and I have to have all of it. Ask Azealia.
And it's usually going to be labradorite.
It's usually labradorite, but this time it wasn't. It was morganite, which morganite, what the heck? But this morganite was a little bit different. It was a little more translucent. It had the colors that I like. It was like pink and blue and pale yellows and greens, but And that usually sounds kind of Easter egg, right? Sounds really pastel, but this was, or these are really just, there's almost like a fish egg kind of element. You ever see frogs' eggs in a pond? And they're kind of like, they're like gelatinous, and the light passes through and it makes them look like, you just want to bust them. I mean, you don't do it obviously, but the feeling is there. That morganite kind of is juicy. It makes you want to pop them like a little tiny muscadine grape. That's what it's like.
Happy birthday, Cecilia.
Oh, yes. That's what a good day. What a good day for a painting party. Get your watercolors out, my friends. If you have some, let's bust them out. This is the perfect time. Azalea's got hers. We're going to switch cameras today, and we're going to experiment. Usually when we're switching cameras, we're futzing with it, and it's for me to show what I'm doing and like the flat lay. But Azalea has a really good, she's going to hook her camera up here in a moment, and will be a nice little, Cecilia's getting hers. Let's see who else. Liz says, I got my lucky mala bead. Gorgeous bead. So happy. That makes me happy, Liz. I kept a lot of it. That's not going to surprise anybody. But I make myself, and I've shown this before, like I love to bead out in the wild. That sounds kind of wacky. But sometimes Joanne and I we're like, let's go out and craft somewhere. And it's like this, I put this sync wave on, and it's kind of getting, is it me, or is it getting louder and louder? It's the sax.
Yeah, the sax.
Anytime they bring in the horns, it's like,
let's find one way to just immediately ruin it.
Azalea's not a big fan of the horn section. No. And it's not my favorite either. But anyway, we will take a kit with us and bead somewhere. And we found a neat place at the Biltmore. So she has a season, or we call it, when you have a membership pass where you can go after 4:30 and just walk. We don't go in the house, but the grounds have a beautiful, like a killer greenhouse. And next to that greenhouse is a place where I love to set up my painting. And it's kind of shaded, and now it's really secret. So anyway, we bring our stuff over there, and I was like, what would be even better is if we could stream live from this location. I don't know what the internet is like over there, so I haven't tried it. But now that I thought of it, I want to try it. So anyway, I have all my painting gear spread out. Nancy, you're not too late. Go get your painting stuff, my friends. We're gonna spread out all over the table.
Oh, that's awesome! Congrats, Cecilia.
Oh,
76.
That's a good year. That's a good time. Happy birthday, Cecilia.
Happy birthday. All right, do we want to switch it now? Are you ready?
Let's do it. Switch it down.
Okay.
Go low.
Okay, get that camera in place.
All right, getting it ready.
Go.
Pardon me. Sorry. Again, what we have going on here is a tray. You guys know I love the bake tray, but this is a lunch tray that I got in a estate sale. 50 cents a piece. Can't beat that. And so I get my tray ready, and this is my work surface. This Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I wish it was plain white, but it was supposed to be where you put your like office supplies in. But I looked at that and I was like, guess what? That's gonna be a painting tray, even though it has all this on it. I can just kind of ignore it. But it would have been better if it were like straight gray or white. All right, let's explain what I have here. So my favorite paint of all time that I love more than anything is a brand called, let me get. Oh, hello, Karen. Hello, Susan. Susan says the Biltmore property is beautiful. Yes, it's amazing. They've spent a lot of money on keeping that gorgeous. So this is the brand here. Azalea is also using the same
OG palette that I took over, so you had to get a replacement.
It's okay, but you know what? This lasts forever. You can get this, I think St. Louis Art Supply. If you can't find it on St. Louis Art Supply, it's on, I'm sure They'll have it on Amazon. But it's a gouache palette. It's a solidified or solid gouache pans. And I've had this one probably 3 years now, and I paint pretty regularly. Here's what I'm working on now. I'm going to show it real quick. This is a project I've been working on for a minute.
Let's skip this song. I'm having a moment.
I don't usually. It's like, what? I can't concentrate.
Who put this on, bro?
I did, but I thought it was synthwave. I didn't know synthwave.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
horn section.
The horn. Yeah, they need to never do that again. That's for sure.
So I showed a little bit of this on what's today? Sunday. I showed a little bit of this on Wednesday, and this is a game I'm working on with Greg and the fam.
It was the first thing you showed me when I got home. You were very eager to show me.
So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on this, but it actually looks pretty good. And when I'm looking on the screen, I'm like, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm looking at it for what shows up and what is looking like it needs some. Like this, I can see that needs some attention. And then this was really fun to paint. This frog, what is that? Tadpole? When they have the legs, it's a tadpole. This is polywog stage, I believe. I might have it backwards. I think it's egg, polywog, tadpole.
No, it's egg.
Froglet.
That's a tadpole, and that's polywog.
Okay, that's a polywog. I always get those backward. And this is a really plump one. And you know what? No lie, I saw, and I took video for evidence. I saw a polywog like this. It could have, if it swam into my palm, it would have filled up the whole inside of my palm. I must have stared at the thing, and I looked at it so carefully. I loved it. I was like, oh, what kind of creature are you going to be when you grow up?
It's cute.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome moment. It's a pretty awesome moment. So anyway, I thought we could work on some, some watercolors tonight.
I love gouache. I love how it, like the opaque.
Me too. So you can get this look. This is on white thick paper, and this is a lot of layers. This is really thick paper. I got this at an estate sale. It was like a crowning moment in my life, to tell you. I was like, these sheets are usually like $20 a pop. I got the whole stack for like $10, and there were like 20 sheets in there. I was like trembling with joy. It was a good moment for me. Not that, my moments are all my most pure joy is not at a estate sale.
A lot?
a lot of them. Though. A lot of those do happen. So here's another thing. So I had these printed on, this is a digital print. And I showed this before on Yupo paper. And then I took the drawing on Yupo and put it in Procreate. That's on my phone. And I doctored it up and added all these little like details and things. And now what I'm doing is I went over and I sprayed it with an archival spray. And that spray will allow me to work on top. And so you can see I brought in, this is the gouache again. And gouache is great because while you can go in and tint it, right? So you can make, and the tint is like, this is from Core Watercolors. I love these. Love them. They're very, if you're looking for a set of watercolors, this is not a cheap date, not by a long shot, but it's by Core. And that brand is, I'm pretty sure that's a golden brand. And these are really highly pigmented. There's a lot of bang for your buck. It'll last you a long time. Like I've had this one, I don't know how long, a while. Good times. This is a new color. I just added it, opera pink. That's a gouache. This is also, if there's any interest, I made a few of these. If you are ever interested in your own gouache, white gouache, this was old perfume containers in the 90s. I went through this thing where I was selling these at my table. It's actually, they're from this French company that made these solid perfumes. And they're really good, but you know what? They don't last forever. I mean, it was almost 30 years ago. So I finally dug out the inside. It was up that, they were in their box. and just melted them out, and then refilled it with white gouache, the designer gouache from I can't think, Winsor and Newton, I think, makes a good white one. It comes in a big tube. Anyway, I filled it up and then I refilled it. So this one you can see it gets a lot of use. Now I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I am not a traditional watercolor. So if there's any of you out there that's like, I am a professional watercolor artist, then I will humbly ask you to not watch them. Because this is probably going to make you bleed out of the eyes. Because this is not by any stretch of the imagination what someone would call traditional. Because right now I'm already going off script by having gouache and watercolors at the same time. And that's wild. I mean, that was not that's not how I was raised. And so there's so many things once you learn some rules, that's when you can go break them. All right, let me show a little bit on this. Azalea's in the middle of she's painting right now. Before we get started, I wanted to show a little bit of this here. This is a watercolor book. I bought this a long time ago. This is some kind of banana leaf paper, and it has handmade paper inside. And it's a cold press. Cold press, all y'all probably already know this, but it took me a long time to realize what that meant. Cold press, hot press. Hot press basically means, and I didn't realize this until I started making paper. Hot press basically means that it's ironed and flattened. And so if it's flattened, you can get more detail and sharper little, marks. So these were just ideas. This whole book is for ideas for bigger paintings. So this is old. You can see this is probably Azalea. This is VA, exactly. So this is old work. You can see my style is a lot different. But that's the thing, is that's how it goes, And what's funny, Azalea, is a lot of these people, these characters that I'm drawing, remind me of you. Not this one's got straight hair, but if this one has a little mess, you could probably make that outfit easily if you wanted to.
I would wear that. Yeah, that's cute.
That could be daughter. Even though I was doing a self-portrait, look, neck mess, even back in the day. And you could probably this thing could be knit. So this is mostly all watercolor and gouache. Oof. Some of this, the only thing about working right on and showing this right on top of my watercolors is that I'm getting my fingers in the watercolors.
Dang.
Oh, thank you, my friends. Oh, I see Anne. Hello, Anne. Oh, thank you, Pat. And I see a comment. Art is art, and you do not have to follow the rules. Exactly. See this? I painted something that turned out horrendous. I can see that it was probably a face from right here. And I just washed all over it and just covered it up because it was so horrendous. And that's okay. I might cover this one because this was too hog wild.
No, that's so good. Don't do
Carolyn
that.
says crocodile knit stitch. I haven't tried crocodile knit stitch. I did crocodile crochet stitch. And let me tell you right now, that is one heck of a yarn hog. This one I never got around to doing. Oh, maybe I'll do it. Oh, there's Greg looking a little swarthy.
That's cute.
Oh, this is my fish. Popo. That's round in Hawaiian because Popo was from Hawaii, from East Coast, or not East Coast. It was I can't remember the name of it. It was something like rain goldfish. And there's another one of Greg. We were at the Imperial Life. So a few minutes ago, I just taped this off. Oh, Liz says, love seeing all your watercolor paintings. Thank you. Those are mostly just sketches. So what I like to do, and I don't know about y'all, but what I like to do is I work in batches. So that means I don't ever work on any one thing and just work on that one thing. It's usually I work on at least two things at the same time, minimal, just because sometimes, when it gets wet, you're like, okay. And sometimes you can use a heat gun, which I have over here if I'm really impatient. But for the most part, what I like to do is have like get like the main wash down or whatever, and then let it dry. Because I feel like sometimes when you let it dry, you can get more of the patterning than you can with other things. Meaning, some of these colors have granulation properties where they break up a little bit. Like this one is called Shadow Violet, and that's who makes that? The Shadow Violet. That's from Daniel Smith. That's my other favorite paint. This was from a brand called Lim. They're not in business anymore, but I got this set, and it has a gold and a pearl, and that's the actual pearl powder. Some of them are kind of, I collect some of these colors, and they're, you can make a pigment. I don't know if you know this, but you can make a pigment out of all different kinds of things, as long as you put in like gum arabic and some other things. You can make a paint. All you need is the pigment powders. Now, I have several pigment powders. I should do a thing of showing how to make paint sometime. That might be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like egg tempera. That's basically you're making your own paint. Oh, Carol says I meant crochet. Oh, well, Azalea would not touch crochet. I thought she would. You don't crochet anything. If you can knit it, you're going to knit it. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, I've been crocheting this little thing.
Let's see. Toss it into the field of vision.
Well, it needs arms and legs. It was a little creature for Alex.
So this feels like wool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
Thanks. I do crochet. I crochet before I knit. I just prefer knitting now.
You know how resistant this gal was to learning to knit? It's pretty hilarious. I was like, girl, when you learn to knit, it's over.
I did want to knit. I just couldn't figure it out at first. Couldn't hear anybody. Was not being taught how to do it. I had to go and find out from YouTube.
Well, you were a little tiny bit resistant. Let's be real. She's not a bit resistant. She was only, she was just like, I just want to focus on this. And then I think you were looking at Sarah's thing and you were like, all right, fine.
Yeah, she's pretty masterful.
Our friend Sarah that we met at the yarn retreat is, when I say a knitting master, I'm not playing around. Like she knits 2 sleeves at the same time on one circular. That blew my doors off. I was like, are you for real?
Smart right magic loop.
So smart. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do on this. I just, I thought, hey, I could do. So whenever I'm in doubt, let me pick up this until I'm ready to do that, because I'm not ready for it at this point. We'll do this. I'll show how to do this because this is right here in front of me. And then I want to show again, I don't know if y'all seen it before, but Azalea and I have been working on this latest Lucky Dip, a Mala beads. And this one has the one I was mentioning about the Morganite. And the Morganite needs some water. Isn't that Opera Pink killer? Let's see if I can get it in the frame. That is the Opera Pink right here. It's so delightful. Let's move it into the frame. Let's see it. Sometimes I'll wake up the colors so they're ready. And I don't have to sit there and massage them with my brush.
Massage them.
Massage. So this takes a very light hand to do, because if you try to go in there with if you try to go in with broad strokes, you could budge the ink, because this is printed. This is not This is not printed on watercolor paper, but it can lift. So I sprayed it ahead of time with workable fixative, And the workable fixative has the property of sealing the surface. But if you work it if you work it aggressively, it's going to be it's going to lift the bottom part. The under layers can be lifted. So I'm going to show. Usually, too, I will say watercolors are usually taped down. Sometimes I don't do this because the bulk of that is a little heavy, and I often am switching between, but it's kind of standard procedure to tape it down. Sometimes I don't do, if it's the standard thing. I just get lazy about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently go in here and I'm going to add some details to this. And you have to go in pretty gingerly on top. And one thing you can see is that when you work on top of a print like this, you're going to get the background. And so if you've ever seen the work of Annie Stegg where she's showing her oil paintings and she does multiple layers, it's called grisaille, when you have you paint everything first and then you go on top of sheer layers. That's called glazing. But that first initial part, the dark and light, is a grisaille painting. This is not grisaille. This is just considered a drawing. But I can't go in here and really, put too many brush strokes or too much water, because I'll lift the ink under it, and I don't want to lift it, because then what happens? It turns muddy and it doesn't look good. So the key here is to try and get a little bit of white, because the white brightens it. Because sometimes if you go straight watercolor, here, I'll show a little bit of that right here. You see what I mean? This stuff is so saturated. I can't believe that. Look how saturated. That's just one dip with my brush. It's almost too much. You can see under it. So that's good. And the reason I did this is because I wanted to do different versions, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to make her tail green or if I wanted to make it where it was pink and green. This one I thought it could be more opaly. So what I'm going to do is try to get an opal look. I'm going to blend a little bit of this green and a little bit of this kind of olivey color. Let me just see what happens. I like to use these little sea sponges to, it's good to dab your brush on. And then it's also good to toss to your son or daughter and let them touch it. And then be like, that's from the sea.
Squeeze this wet sponge.
Mm-hmm. That's what I told Azalea this morning. I said, here, feel this. And then I let the cat smell it, because it smells like the ocean. This is pretty fun. So this is watercolor glazing right there. That action, that was pretty fun to do that. To get those, but I can't go over it too many times. If I keep running that brush, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to lift up the ink underneath. I don't want to do that. And I'm trying to go sheer layers, because if I don't, see, I didn't, right here on that spot, the watercolor already soaked in. So you kind of have to go in gently and let each layer dry, because if you don't, then it can get murky quick. So I don't want it to get murky. Are you ready to switch the camera to your side, little dog?
No, it's just drying right now.
You want to use the thing and show how to dry it? Because I have it hooked up already if you would like to show that.
Maybe.
Okay, if you want to. Maybe I'll do this where the tail is more blue at the end. What do you guys think? I think green. What's your thoughts, Azalea? Do you think it should be all green, or maybe more blue? Let's try a little bit of blue.
And pink.
Oh, Marty's hair, of course. So then when this is done, I'll take it to the print shop and then they can scan it, and they're really good scanners, and they can make a print, and I can make variations. So it's kind of like you get a little bit of, you can have like more than one out of one painting, one image, I guess. It's kind of fun to color. Part of me was like, maybe I should make this so like that we can just color it. But it's pretty subtle. Another way to do that would be to just do it on Procreate or whatever. I don't know what the version in, what is it, a Surface? What's the Android painting app?
I'm not sure.
Procreate's strictly for Apple.
I use Ibis Paint on my computer.
Oh, Iris?
Ibis Paint. That's pretty good.
So this is how you see that I'm just getting like light washes, and I can. Do you see how active that paint is? It's such good paint. Come on, it's not cheap though. So, like, I think that set is like $100, or maybe like $60, something like that. It was high. I didn't buy it right out. I like asked for it for Christmas or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was not one that I was like, I'll just get that, because I have a lot of art supplies. It gets hard to justify, when you already have. I have a really nice set of watercolors, so it's kind of hard to be like, well, let's get some more watercolors. Liz says some blue would be nice. I hear you. Let's get some of that. I love this teal right here. When you're ready, little daughter, you can switch it.
I'm not doing anything on mine right now because I'm just letting it kind of sit for a second.
You want to show it for a moment?
It's wet. Gotta let it sit for a second.
Hmm.
Unless you want to dry it for me real quick because you're on your side.
Okay, let's do it. Here, I'll dry it.
They kind of this paper is not great for watercolor all the time because I was impatient on the sky part.
Keep it moving. It's the key. Keep it moving. If you, this is for peeling paint. That's what it's for, paint stripper. If you leave it in one location, you'll set your book on fire.
And the tape will bubble too. It's so strong.
So here's one thing about why certain papers are better than others. So usually you'll hear me say, just use whatever paper you have. Because what is in front of you, don't wait around for like perfect paper. Just go do it. Even if you have cheapo paper. But if you have really nice paper, like you'll get less of, see these little,
yeah, that's my fault because I went on wet on wet on wet.
Well, you can do that with a thick paper because it's built for that. And let me see, there's a little wet spot there.
Abandoning his post. His cat.
That looks good. All right, little daughter. You can go to the next thing if you want to.
Thank you.
All right, that looks pretty good. I did some light layers up in here. You can see that. So I'm going to let that one sit for a second. I think I'll add a little bit more of this. I love this lime green. I'm going to hit that. So it's almost like reflected light, almost. Maybe a little bit of pink. Can't resist it. I think I can't resist that pink. They would say, Cynthia, how come you always pick the same? And this is, you know what? This is a really hard combination to print. That pink and green, very
Really?
difficult. Yeah, like I've had so many issues with getting that to come out. Not really sure. It was explained to me why it's a difficult combination to get.
Like a blend of pink and green.
See, now I didn't want that to happen. See how that happened just there? I'm gonna try and scrub it. Ugh. I went into it wasn't watered down enough, and that I could probably get with watercolor medium, or I can try and fix it with. See, I just went in there and it's like it kind of. But you can see how fast it can come together, and I want to do a bunch of variations and then figure out which one came up, which one looks the best, and kind of load this up and give it sort of that like, I don't know, maybe I'll make her hair like. You know what I'm going to do. Y'all know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't even need to tell you. Look at this. You knew it was going to happen. This is my 80s roots are coming out right now. Boy, this blend of music is
I was
really...
just about to say, what happened?
Here, what happened here? Go find that. Where's that remote?
Get out
here,
of
go
that.
Do something about that.
Whatever this remix is. Vaporwave. Skip next time.
Well, we were trying to go for, synthwave is the preferred, just because it's kind of like background chill. That's good. It sounds kind of like X-Files.
It's the same one we've been listening to for the whole...
Forever, our first one. So let's just stick to what works. Perfect. All right, now
we know what we like. We know we're not gonna get surprised by some saxophone or trumpet. Perhaps.
I feel like mostly what I've been doing is working on. And now I'm going to switch over. Where'd the background go over this piece? And back to the frog channel.
Back to frog channel.
Let that one sit a minute. Let it straighten out. You want to see something cute that I hid in here? You guys, how do you feel about this little guy right here? He's just happy to be alive.
Honey? What are you talking about, Mark?
He's in his box.
Talking.
So I have this little egg happening there. And I painted that guy last night. He's a little bit detailed for being underneath the water. So I'm going to paint another one. Let's paint another hump. Let's see if I can see what I'm doing. Kind of unusual painting situation here. It's like behind the scenes and I was covering my hand. A little bit of green. The only thing is this is tilted, so everything is making a slurry right down here. And that's what I use for my shadows. It's like all pre-blended. You ready to switch over to yours to show what you've been doing?
In a minute. I'm almost ready.
Zoe's almost ready. She's got her word. So I'm painting. This is on white paper, but it's almost like painting on dark because it does not want to lift. So I'm painting another polywog.
I'm not ready to show mine yet because I'm not pleased with it at all. It's like, oh, don't switch the camera.
Yeah, no, it's kind of, I can paint all day long. Like this is where my happy place is to paint or carve. Pretty much any kind of crafting is my happy place. Yeah. Actually, that polywog I just made kind of looked like a puffer fish. He's a little on the skinny side. We'll make his tail. Sometimes it's you have to do multiple layers because you can barely see it, and even with being kind of a sturdy, nice water or gouache, it's not perfectly opaque. I mean, it is opaque, but sometimes it's not. You can see it's kind of fuzzy through there. Oh, hello, Kathy, using hubby's tablet. You can see these are some of the shadows of where I'm going to paint some of these little guys. Get a top view of this little froglet.
Yeah, it is coming out so good.
Thank you.
1 million copies sold first year.
You know what, y'all? So every time I look at this, I say to myself, and I imagine the sticker that's going to be like, the sticker is going to go right here in gold, and it's going to say, over 1 million copies sold this year. That's what it's going to say. So get ready when it's time. You know, I love playing a board game. Not just any board game, because Monopoly is not even welcome in this house. Don't be rolling in with Monopoly, because we've had mates when it comes to Monopoly.
It's fine.
You know, it's funny, as Greg was telling me, he watches a lot of true crime, and he's like, you know, more murders take place because people are playing Monopoly and then get bent out of shape. And then, you know.
That's insane.
I know. I was like, well, that's to be expected. You know, you fall on Park Place and then have to pay somebody and they're smirking. It's enough to make somebody's blood boil. I can see it. So we don't play that. My favorite is, I love playing Farkle. Anytime there's dice, I love dice. You know, I started learning how to play chess, and it's not a game for me because it's like your goal is to try and take the other person's pieces. And so I have a hard time with it because I don't like it when my pieces get taken either. So Greg's like, well, that's just how you play it. I'm like, well, I don't like that story. And I didn't like Sorry as a kid. Didn't like that. So y'all might be wondering, what, if you like playing board games, what do you like? Well, I like Farkle. I like, and that's where you roll like 6 dice. I love Sequence. Although in my family, when we play pretty hardcore. And when my mom is there, she's like, okay. She usually always wins, by the way. My mom is like a card shark. I don't think I've ever seen her lose cards, except to my grandma. And she, I thought, was the best at cards. But the two of them combined were like, you might as well not even play. But my mom, when we play Sequence, she'd be like, okay, cup it. Like if you were the losing party, you had to be the one to cap your own. So it was kind of like, it was hard to put the winning piece on for the opponent. That little indignity. These are like bullfrog tadpoles in here.
They're nice and big.
They're pretty plump, pleasingly plump. Carolyn says, have you played Dixit? That's a fun game. Yeah, that's good. I like that game. I'm not a big fan of the game where there's like, haha, I just took your pieces. I don't like that.
Were you guys playing something like that the other night? Because I could hear you getting mad from the other room.
Okay, so there's a game called Fruit Fight. I think it's called Fruit Fight. And it's kind of like, what's that one game, Mantis, where you called Score or Steve?
Score or Steve, yeah.
Where you have to say, hey, do you have kind of like Old Maid a little bit? but it's all the cards are spread out. That's a fun and hilarious game that you can play with a lot of people. Good party game. And it's really easy. It's not like there's some games by the time you learn the rules, you're like 100 years old. Like we were trying to play that Settlers of Catan, and I was like, I'm going to go read a book until you guys figure out how to play this, and then when you're done, then I'll come back in here. I got too impatient. I could not stand the weight of learning it.
That's funny.
And I was like, I love the pieces and I love the look of this, but I do not love how long this is taking to learn. So whatever game I'm going to do is not going to be where it's a long-winded rule book. You know, I also like Wingspan is good. That's a new game, but it's also one where it has like you have to kind of learn how to play it, and it's like you're the head of a bird sanctuary, which I liked. I liked it so much that I went and got the other copies that they came out with called Wormspan, which you try to have dragons, and then Finspan, which is like you're doing fish, which I like to imagine my grandma and my dad would have been like really into it. They're fisher. They like to fish. Yeah, this is coming out. That tadpole's only okay. Melanie says, my hubby loves aggravation. I don't play with him. He is annoying. LOL. He is so competitive. I don't know. I don't think I do not. Oh, aggravation. No, I don't want to play that. No. I know exactly what game. No, I don't play the games like that. Because you know why? Sometimes Greg will smirk, and his daughter also will smirk.
Hey, listen, I don't do that.
You start smirking, and it makes a person want to flip that table.
I do it to Max when he's being
and he hates it. And I don't. And you get it from your dad. And Max and I both cannot tolerate when a smirk. Listen, when someone does that little, when they make their mouth into a beak and like squint their eyes a little bit, it's maddening. I can't deal with it. We're gonna fight right now.
We're gonna fight right now.
Get over here, and I'm gonna wrestle you down to the ground. That's what's gonna happen right here. So y'all know I'm not gonna be designing a game where there's annoyances such as that to contend with, because then it's not that fun. You know what I like in a game is when you're winning a lot, like there's a potential to win. Like with Farkle, you can get a long run of dice. Like your score can be really high. And you're trying to get, like, the point of it is to get high score. So you roll 6 dice, and then you're like, or it used to be called, you might know it as greedy, because my grandma called it greedy. She's like, who wants to play greedy? And I'd say, well, of course I do. But we took gaming in our house serious. If you were to say, like my cousin Timmy decided he's going to cheat. And he hid cards under his leg. And when my grandma discovered this was like in 1989, Timmy has not played cards with us since. And he's a grown man, but that was like, he was like 15. And since he was caught cheating, we're still like, oh, who's going to play? Oh, Timmy? Nah. Because he's got the reputation of being cheater face. So
the reputation.
I'm like, no one's going to play you because you get the reputation of cheating. So
it's over for bro.
Yeah, that was like 30 years ago, but
40.
Oh
yeah, 30, I guess. You said 1989.
Melanie says he sucks the fun right out of it. Yeah, I don't like that. There's some folks that are not like, they're not great when it comes to playing. You don't want them on game night. That's the ones you're like, okay, well, we're going to do book club. I'm not trying to cause strife, but sometimes that's how it is. These tadpoles are looking cute. I see. Will prints of this amazing frogging painting be available to purchase sometime? I don't know. I feel like that would be a good idea. That would be nice. So I'm going to let these guys dry a little bit. And I'm going to kind of blend in this little area right in here. It's supposed to be reflecting the evening light. I haven't quite gotten, I'm trying to get these to look like lightning bugs, but they're blending in. So it's not very easy to get a good lightning bug. And this, it's so thick of so many layers of paint, you can kind of feel it. It's really hard to get that to, I've changed the color of this, I don't know how many times. So it's almost like the growth, you can almost see it's like a growth spiral, except that one's more closed up. And these are duckweed. I got to add more duckweed to give it a more sparkling look. So it's kind of, I'm using, if you're noticing, if we're going to talk just normal or talk like about composition and color, I am using these spots here, and it's kind of like a little bit, you can see I'm using the same motifs for the spot action, bringing it up from this area, keep it moving. Some of this, everything is aimed, so it's like this, make a spiral. So then the text is going to be right here with a little bit of, at first this was a bright blue, and it was too much of a saturated blue. So I grayed it down with some shadow violet, and that's a mix. It's a gray made with viridian and orange, if you can believe it, purple orange. The two of them together make what's called shadow violet. And boy, I tell you, I love it so much. It's a really, like, here's some of it here. Let's look at it. Just show how it looks. Get the little edge of it. Let's see. That's Prussian blue. Maybe it'll show here. It doesn't, it has, if you can see, it's like a gray, but as it dries, it granulates and makes these patterns. Isn't that pretty? That's my favorite part of watercolor, is getting that. I could do that just to do that part. I love that. I could just make those all day long. But you know what? I still have that feeling of being an illustrator in my blood. So, oh, yours is looking good. I see you have a nice highlight of the, what is that breaking light I see on yours? Is it time?
Breaking light. Oh yeah, you can look at mine now if you want.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Abby says, I had no idea that was a thing. I was told I was just too sensitive, and I believed it. Nice to know I'm not the only one. Oh no, Abby, listen, there's certain games that I refuse to play. I don't want to play anything where you're taking or snatching from another person, or like that you will have a, like, anything that's like where someone else loses, and then, or I don't know, like you snatch from someone. I feel like a game, the whole point of it is to feel good, to feel like, you know, like.
Some people just like to compete like that.
I know. That's why Monopoly is so, people like Monopoly so much.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Hopefully this camera is set up right.
I love that sky area that you've got there, that little hint of light.
Thank you. I was just about to add like little highlights to the water. I tried to do like the reflection of the trees in the water here. It looks kind of muddy, so.
Here, make it so I can read it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn says you are an
My
amazing
area
artist.
is not as well lit as Mom's is.
That's easily fixed.
Yeah. I'm just going to add, I got some really pale blue. And since this is really watered down gouache, it's going to dry a lot different. It's not going to dry so bright white like that.
Now you can, if you want real bright white, I have a product over here. And I think I gave you the other one.
I can use some of this to do in my clouds here.
When it's dry. Let's see if this is the one.
You what? You have what? Is it that tube of ink? Oh, yeah, that's okay. I've used that before. It's not very opaque, though.
It's supposed to be.
I did not have that experience. I used it. Maybe it was, when I used it, it was just really watered down and it
This
dried.
is the product we're talking about.
Wink.
That was a beta testing of that brand from Culture Hustle. So they had like a couple different vials, and they are like, okay, which is better? Which is the brightest white? They also made the blackest black, and that is like looking into
this one doesn't look as good as that
darkness.
This cloud is not looking the same as the other cloud. It's not having the same glow. So we can go here and fix that. And then we can blend it in. Give it a better highlight in the background. A little bit more of a shape. I'm not a cloud painter, but I want to be. I have so many pictures of clouds in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I see it, I had taken so many sunset pictures when we were on our way home from Ohio because we left in the evening time. So I love a cloud. I want to be good at painting them.
Same. What a noble pursuit.
Cloud painting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we don't have to look at mine anymore. I don't like mine that much. So switch back to you.
No, I think it's beautiful, Azalea.
Oh, thank you. I was going to put a lady standing right here.
Where?
Right here. I was going to put a medieval lady with horns.
Wow.
Or antlers, I guess is the better term.
That paper can withstand that?
Probably not. No, but we're going to do it anyway.
Oh, thank you. Abby says, oh my, you are both so talented. I could watch you paint all day. Thank you.
I want to do oils, Carolyn.
Oh.
I've never painted with oil before, but I think I would like it.
You know, I have painted with oils, but I'm not very good at it. That's, it's like anything, when you're just learning how to do. And, I went to school for it, and I'm still kind of sucky at oil painting. I mean, just because you practice it doesn't mean you're going to be good at it, Sometimes it takes years. And the same thing with watercolor. Watercolor, I feel like, can be really challenging if you like to control all of the things that are happening. I'm going to paint a cloud too. Let's go on with some shadow violet. Let's just do it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm into it. Let's paint one. We'll do evening sky right now because I can kind of see it out the window. Maybe it's going to have a little bit of this is what I like to do, right? Is swishing the stuff around. It's so fun. Or get your little sponge. This is so soft right now. It's kind of, if you have sensory things, it's kind of disturbing in the way it feels, but for me, I like it. So it's really squishy and soft. As I was looking at it, just kind of grossed out a little bit. Let's add some blue. Horizon line. It's kind of like Tucson right there, huh? A little bit.
Yeah.
What if I want it to be darker. Let's see how dark I can make that shadow violet. This is a gray. It's supposed to be a neutral. I would like to, and I made this little one. My friend Kathy Van Cleek, check out this. This is how she packages her jewelry, my friend. Check this out. She uses copper tape on top of one of those like Altoid tins. And so I loved it because isn't that charming? That's just copper tape. It has a texture. She wraps it with it and tears it into strips. And that, I mean, I've had this for years and it stayed. So anyway, that's a good idea if you want to take a picture with your mind's eye and do it. And then look at this. This is Sculpey, or maybe it's epoxy putty. I can't really remember what I did.
I feel like you would do epoxy with
probably epoxy putty in there, and then just made a palette. Nowadays they have palettes you can easily. You don't even need to do that. You can get a 3D printed version. But at the time,
yours is cooler though.
Thank you. This is Mayan blue Give it a little bit of that. It's so fun. Let's get in some of that opera pink. I can't resist it. Can't quit you, opera pink. It's right down at the horizon, right down there. Maybe a little bit of this yellow. You know, I could make these things all day long, just like this. Just and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of, let's see, what's a Prussian right there? Maybe a little bit of, oh, you know, I have a new color. No, that's green. I got this etcher palette right here, but sometimes I forget what's in there. Oh, this is that Caroline green. Check this color out. Delicious. I'll have to give you a squeeze of that as well. You need some of this. Look at this color. Check out this color.
A squeeze of that.
What is squeeze? Here, let's look at them on this. You know, on a piece of paper on this side. Check this out. It's so delicious. Look at that color. It's beautiful. We're going off script. A whole page of Caroline green.
Dang.
I'm into it.
Could be a deep underwater scene.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and then there's some Mayan blue. These are gemstone colors. And then if you go in with another unrelated, look, this is a cactus color. Look at this. Watch this. It's so fun. What? Stop. Don't stop. Look at that.
Don't stop.
Dude, don't eat. I'm going to dry it real fast. Oh, Carolyn says with oils you can cover up mistakes. You know, whenever I've done that, it didn't cover up. It just looked extremely muddy. I'm not going to show you all my old oil paintings because those are frankly horrendous. I'm giving a little bit of a dry off so that I can go into the next round. Yeah, isn't that green Caroline delight? And it's considered a granulating, I think, because it looks like, well, it looks like it's granulating. Maybe not. Granulating means it just breaks down, which I'm sure you all know. Like it just separates on. Whenever I do that, I am reminded of Bob Ross. Do you guys remember that when he would do that thing and he'd like flap that brush really hard?
Slapping the water on my into my mouth.
Oh, is that what I just did? Sorry about that. I'll take some of these pan drippings over here.
Oh.
That's where it all ran together and made a murky black. So if you're a traditional watercolorist, you're probably like, I got some. I sometimes get people when they're watching my videos, that's not how you do that. Because they're what you call a purist. And the purists don't like it mixed media for whatever reason. Because it's like, you're not following the rules. And watercolor when done like straight up is like watching. It's pretty magical. If you can do what they call what they were always preaching to me, and that was really hard for me. They'd say,
preserve your white.
How did you know I was going to say that? Oh my God.
I know this. I've heard this
Preserve
story.
your whites. I hated that story. Preserve your whites. I'm like, listen, go get me that bottle. And I have some in my bag here, but it's unopened. And preserve your whites. That's like this would be preserving your whites. I never preserve any white. I have to go in and cheat and use like freaking whitewash because I can't preserve it.
Whitewash is fun though. It's got that.
I don't have that kind of patience.
I think I like the opaque gouache painting more than I like preserved whites watercolor. That's just my personal feelings, but I just like it better.
I like it, but I love it when I see it done beautifully, especially when someone will paint crystal or glass. Then it's like magic is taking place. If you see it, it's so wonderful. But it is not the easiest of things to do. I wanted to do this, rip this tape off so we could look at it. That's kind of fun. Cecilia says, we are watching paint dry. You know you're good. It's cute. Anne says, if I read an enameling book before I started, I would not do half of what I do. And I know that feeling so well. You know what? The other day I was looking at this book I ordered. It's called Painting Workshop. And I think I showed it a couple months, maybe 3 months ago. And I was like, this book right here is a whole painting course. It's unreal how good it. I was like, oh my God, if I'd known some of this, kidding me right now, I'd be so much better a painter. At least compositionally, I would be better. Or actually, I am better because of that. Should try to paint my view out here, my mountain view, because out one window during the wintertime you can see the mountains, but when it's growed up like it is now with all the leaves, then you know it is. Oh, I also love Anne's work. I'm a big fan. I need to do that. I keep talking about that competition. I told Izzy I gotta find my piece, and it's in my in one of my trays, and I have it started. And it's looking really good, but I want to see what everybody else is making. Ooh, this is the Purulene Maroon. I just got that one. Look how pretty that is. Give it that kind of vibe, like the light is coming through. He doesn't want it, Azalea. You on that poor little cat.
You're giving me kisses right now. He's a good cat. Long suffering, constantly being kissed all the time. So horrible for him.
How do you feel about that?
That looks really good right now.
Thank you. Are you going to put another figure?
I'm waiting for this to completely dry because it's still like kind of, and then right here on the pink side, I'll probably do a portrait or something because I'm going back to my roots of when you first let me have this, and I was constantly covering the pages with the pink and then doing portraits on top of it. Just because it looks good, romantical looking.
I like to get that where the paint is kind of rolling around. You see how it kind of, let's see. It says handmade paper, so I got a little bit of a kind of, Carolyn says, I see our forest fire smoke sunsets here in Cali. Nice. That's kind of is. It's kind of, you're right. That is giving me Glendale vibes. We used to live in Glendale, and there was all the time, every time I turned around, there was another forest fire. Not a forest fire. I guess it was a forest fire. Wildfire over by the canyon. We used to live near, what's that, near Burbank. We were in between Burbank and Pasadena. And in that area, there was all the time fires and smog. I don't miss that at all. Let's pop that out a little bit and see what happens. I need a nice dark. Oh, that's a good Prussian. Let's get that in there. There's some clouds. The smoke. Oh, thank you. Liz says your painting is turning out so pretty. Pretty fun. I will say I love doing this. I follow a guy on Instagram that makes some nice landscapes. This is called a scrubber. I just got this. And it's for doing this number right here. Say you're going to lift out some highlights. Now this is handmade paper. It's sometimes it doesn't want to lift. It's say I didn't want that like harsh line right through there. Could lift that a little bit. Scrub it up a little bit. It's kind of fun to scrub. If you have nice thick paper, you can scrub with a lot more ease than if you have a kind of a cheap paper. It's kind of fun to do that. I kind of like doing that scrubbing action. And then soften it. Maybe I'll add more of that shadow violet. I'm a big fan. Or moon glow. Where do I have that moon glow? Moon glow, where are you? Let's see if that's it. Some of these colors are a little weak. Like I got a lapis color, and I thought it was kind of weak. I don't really love it, and it was expensive. I was like, "What's that story? What's this? What is that about?" really love that either. Let's see about that. That's probably that moon glow. And it's another gray. I've been in my gray phase lately. I bought a tube of what was called random gray, and I think it's by Holbein. Takes all their grays from that year and puts them in one tube, all the leftover grays, so you never know what squeeze is going to happen. Like when you squeeze out some, it's kind of a surprise. Okay, so that, let me see, feels pretty soft. It's still a little bit damp, but here's some of that granulating. When I get up close, you can see it. The colors kind of separate. That's what that means. I already knew that. Anyway, let's see what happens. You think I should peel it? Can I peel it? It might be too soon, but I'm so impatient. It's like let's just do it and see what happens.
Just use the heat gun on it first.
I did it. It's pretty dry.
Oh, well, then, yeah.
All right, let's try
Just slowly. You have to do it slowly, else it'll rip, for real. Especially with that really gripping tape. There you go. Clean edges. ASMR. Dang, had a little bit of seeped.
So close to being perfect.
You can always just use some whitewash and cover that up.
Nah. Look. Ah, boo.
The first part was good.
The first part was good, and that's where it leaked. I didn't push that down hard enough. But you know what? I could go in there with some white gouache. Let's do it right now, see what happens. And do this. I'm not going to try and lift that up.
Or just, you could just do a border around it, and then you wouldn't even know.
They have a product called liquid paper, and you can get warm white or cool white. Y'all know I know all the tricks to lift up my mistakes. So let's put some little stars in there. It's kind of thick. I didn't mean for that to be that thick. We'll just leave it up.
It made it worse instantly.
It's made that worse.
Immediately
not as good as it was 10 seconds ago.
It's okay. You can probably just use a wet brush and just scrub it in, and then it'll just be a lighter spot.
My scrubbing, this brush is too thick for this job. This is not the right brush. But, let's just see what happens here. And it's on there, look at how permanently. Man, where's that scrubbing brush? I have this. That's what that's for, is this brush right here. It's designed, this is its number one job, is to scrub. Because it's kind of like a hoof shape.
Hoof.
And isn't that so much better? Nope.
You know what I would do is, if you can't lift it and you can't cover it up with the white, you could always make it look like it's framed.
Mm-hmm.
And go and get decorative with it.
Yeah, try to fix it with that. I don't know if that works.
Just cover it up. Don't try to fix anything. Just cover it.
Just cover it. That's what you use a mat for. That's right.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's that. That's what happened with this business here. I'm going in there and see a quick little landscape sunset. I was looking out the window, and kind of the view. It's not quite that peachy outside, but there's some pink still remaining. So anyway, there you go. I'm not going to close the book on that. I'm going to leave that to dry completely. I was going to show that set, but I don't know if I have the pretty heavy. So that's coming. What was I trying to say? So the Lucky Dip we were working on here. Pass me yours and I'll show it. What you have going on, Azalea?
My painting?
Yeah, for a painting party.
I'm like mid brush stroke.
Mid brush stroke, y'all.
Busy.
She's busy over here. I want to peel that tape, but I'm not going to because you saw what happened with my paint.
I'm not letting you peel nothing.
Because I didn't do a good job smashing that tape down, so that's to be expected.
I'm expert.
Yeah.
The tape smashing.
Yeah, you're good at it.
Thanks.
Well, you're good at painting in general.
I want to be better. I want to practice more and get better at it.
Yeah.
I was gonna I'm doing this right now. I was gonna go and wait for it to completely set up so I could sketch in place the girl that I wanted to draw standing there. It's a little wet
you
still.
need to get some of that Optimist, that ink. Try that out. I like that.
It just bleeds really, really bad.
That Optimist is supposed to be shellacked. It's not supposed to move.
No, it bleeds through the other side where the back is alcohol ink. It bleeds through 3 pages. And you kind of have to just sacrifice the page on the back. And I usually try to cover every single page of my sketchbook, you know?
Yeah. You know, I should have done that too with mine. I started using up both pages. Looks good, Azalea.
I always
This is a particularly good spot. Right in here is where.
Thank you. That was actually an accident.
Strongest.
It was an accident. But thanks.
Nice. That's your strongest spot. Is right there.
Thank you. I'm gonna.
So if my painting teacher saw that, Mr. Drummond, he would say paint over it.
What?
Your best spot of your painting, because your painting is only as good as your best spot. So he would take the brush out of my hand and paint over my best spot.
Then he'd get hit.
No, but it's true. You would just you don't.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in art school because I don't care for that type of teaching. That's some BS.net.
Well, that's just how it is.
I don't care how it is, bro. There's some people that have the whole degree. They went through their suffering and they still their paintings are buns. So that will not be me. Thank you.
All right, this is how this is dried out. Look at this. So remember at the beginning we did a layer on this, and that doesn't look that great. I'll probably repaint that, but the tail I'm pretty happy with. Kind of swirly and mermaidy, which it is.
The tail is like rainbow.
Doesn't it look like Azalea's face, though? For real? Y'all?
Far apart eyes. Yeah.
Lovely daughter.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see. Should I show that kid again? I think I showed it before.
Back.
You need me to show it again?
What?
Carolyn says, my painting teacher used to do that, too. Well, they would always say, you shouldn't be precious with your painting.
That's
just
dumb.
Accept that, it's teaching you not to be precious with it. You know what I mean? And by precious, I mean you're not supposed to
No, I'm glad I'm not in there.
you're not devastated if something happens. You know what I mean? And that's good because I've had plenty of things run, and it teaches me not to be too.
I can't actually roll my eyes hard enough when you tell me stuff that your art teachers did. They just physically don't go back as far as they need to express my just absolute disgust towards that.
Check out this blend, y'all.
This is coming up.
Listen, you don't need to see the price tags though, because it'll make you feel afraid. But
because right now you see Lepidolite and Larimar in the same bucket, next to each other.
I know, because I didn't put it in there yet. I was going to put them in something.
Perfect Larimar.
How
blue it is.
This was not a cheap date. So I've been sitting on this trying to figure out, because it's going to be kind of, I'm already going to tell you, it's not a cheap date. Because look, when was the last time you saw black moonstone? Unless I had it, because I'm that's my jam. Here's I found aquamarine, but small and juicy.
Yeah, this is a lucky dip that's coming up. We'll have it on Wednesday. We're just trying to figure out how to make it where it's not so pricey. Because it is. Look at all the stuff that's in there. It's just so expensive right now.
It's so expensive. This is right here. These guys.
Just a small scoop would be expensive. That's like ruby and sapphire, isn't it?
This is rubies and sapphire.
She's got expensive taste, you guys. There's no swaying her.
There's no swaying me. So that's, and this is also, look at this one. I hand-picked that. That's ruby and sapphire. Let me get the light to prove it. To prove it. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, it's the presence of chromium in the rubies. That's what it is. I found that out. I'm like, why does that happen? So chromium.
Is that the first level of the light?
I think the other one is so blue you could knock your brains out. You can't even see anything if you push it. Like it.
Oh, I thought
goes
you
to
were on the
this.
second level.
See,
Oh
it's
yeah,
too much.
it's
You
too
can't
much
see
on
it.
screen. You can see it in person, but
In person you can see it really shining, but in this light it's too much. You know, this is a little bit more gentle and you can kind of see the shine. But anyway, there's sapphires in this one. This is this is like my dream dip is what this one is.
Mine too. I'd make something fantastic with that. We have to reserve a scoop for me.
That's a type of, oh my God, I wrote down all the stuff in there, but the majority of this, I bought the whole hank of that morganite. And as I was like, the whole hank, and I was like, yes, the whole hank. Because it was like, it's like, kind of like, let me get one to show it. So that's one, but they're kind of cloudy and mysterious. There's pink opal, and the pink, look how that opal looks a little bit like conch. And has they're not completely 100% round. I love it. Like, so passionate about it. I was like, oh my God, that one came out so good. But anyway, this gem grade, look at this. Oh, there's another one of that. That's that morganite. I don't know if you can see it, but it's so weirdly, or no, that one's not. That's iolite. There's another, that strand was weirdly dark. Anyway, I'm really into this blend. And there's not that, as always, like it's your dream blend, but there's not even that much labradorite in there that I can see.
Good.
Look at these. These are not a cheap date.
Those would fit pretty good in Anne's caps.
I have earrings made with Anne's caps with these like that. It is a dream dip. Karen, it's not yet. I'm not ready for it yet.
Well, she might be just saying that she might work on Wednesday.
Oh.
And wants to know if we're going to post it then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe what we can do is we
need
to figure out, first of all, how we're going to scoop it and the sizes and the weights. Because, you know, with the first Lucky Dip, the small one, we had $5 a gram. And then we would scoop it and buy like grams.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to figure out what sizes and what prices we're going to do on this one. And then if we decide to put it on the website, we probably will put it on the website, and I can make a newsletter to let everybody know when it's going to go live.
That's a natural stone. It's yellow and manganese blue. Isn't that killer? God, it was like, I went through, and when I saw that, and then look at this. Dang. A lot of these have a lot of the schiller, or they're really high quality. Like I found some that are like specimen grade. And specimen grade means it has more of the mineral showing, less of it being like usually when you get a stone, like depending on where they cut it, you'll get like A, B, C grade, and some will be like triple A grade, depending. There's some kyanite in here that was not a cheap date. None of it. This is tanzanite. Look at this. That's natural. That's why this is not. The yellow, I gotta look it up, but I believe that's I gotta look at my notes. Because right now, let me see if I can find it in my notes. Yeah, I can't find that on there. Oh yeah, there's rutilated quartz. Oh, green rutilated quartz. That's right. Yeah, green lepidolite. That's that green here. I wrote it down. That's this. Isn't that pretty? It's a hard to find stone. I grabbed what I could of that. It's not. It's kind of expensive. Oh, and there's emerald. Oh, I forgot. And there's a triple A grade green yellow opal. So that's probably what that is. There's some. And I thought that was dyed for many years until I found the actual rough at the Mineral Society. And they were like, no, that's natural. So I believe that's that green opal because it was yellow green and had pops of teal in it. So anyway, I'm really excited about this one, and that's natural rhodochrosite. Can you believe that? Look how saturated that color is. Yeah, this one came out so beautiful. I can hardly even stand it. And I was telling Zoe, I separated some of it out. If that one is particularly good. I just like gemstones. I'm a big fan of beautiful stones, and these spoke to me. Like the variation in color. Like to me, these are like the perfect, like the most natural of a bead is a round, I think, because everything, when you heat up metal, it automatically wants to make a circle and make a round shape. These to me are just like, they're so perfect. So much variation. And even in this pink quartz, which is pretty common, I found some that was really glowy and not chalky, So the best part about it, this is that morganite that I was talking about. I was like, how come this morganite has schiller? And I hadn't seen that before. So I was pretty excited. This is that mariposite. Let's see that. And they named that because it's mariposa is a butterfly, and it's like a butterfly wing. Anyway, I'm really excited about this blend. I think it's going to be so good. And I'm planning the technique to go with it. Oh, here's an emerald right here. Let's see if you can see it. Beauty. Liz says, those stones are amazing. Yes, I am really, and it was much. You can see this is probably only going to make, and the reason I've been hesitating is because there's not a lot in this. Look close. And I would like to be able to make more than, say, 12 kits. So I was shopping around in my personal collection and pulling out some of the things I've been I don't want to say hoarding, I should say collecting and keeping to myself. But and that's more of that morganite. This is what I was talking about, where it has that kind of, it's they look like they're squishy. Like there's a little bit of they're translucent. So you don't often see the morganite where it has that, but that whole thing, I was like, just give it all to me, all of it. And that's the majority of this is that morganite. I'm crazy about it. And I haven't seen it like that because a lot of the times it's like a flat color, and these have a shadow to them so that they have this sort of fish egg or kind of this look. Like, how would you even describe that? It just looks like slightly translucent. They're just, look at this one. It's so beautiful. I can't even take it. I can't wait to make something with that. Anyway, I'm hoping to have this ready on Wednesday, but if not, then the following Sunday, that should be ready to go. So we will send a newsletter because I know I've had several emails since I've shown this with people asking me, hey, when's that going to launch? And saying, hey, please let me know so I don't miss out, because it's going to be very limited. It's not going to, I don't have a ton of it. And sometimes that's how it happens. You don't have there are some stones there's not a never-ending supply of it. Where's that cat? All right, let's wrap it up.
His cue. Okay, let's switch it over then.
Okay, honey.
I'm just staring at the blank. Don't look at me. Dang. What?
It's the cat. What we've all been waiting for. My son.
Did he get his treat yet?
He did get his treat. Look at him. He's getting some more. All right, my friend. Liz says morganite is one of my favorite stones. I didn't know that was one of my favorite stones, because usually it's kind of, it's a little.
It's usually labradorite.
Well, it's usually labradorite. Let's be real. But that is particularly juicy. So I am, I have a weakness for the stones that are slightly translucent like that. It just, I don't know. There's something about it. Like I really like some now, especially I have more of an appreciation for agates and jaspers. But my favorites are the ones that have that jellyish kind of look. It's so beautiful. All right, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. We had a really good time painting and chatting with y'all out there. So we will see you again on Wednesday. And I'm not really sure what we're going to do. I have a plan in my mind, but I don't know if I'm going to have it done. So hopefully I can have couple of new things that I'm working on in the garage. So anyway, let's wrap this up. All right, my friends. We will see you on Wednesday. Okay, love y'all out there.
Good night, everybody.